Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to our live feed update for September 23rd. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and I'm here today to update you on everything that happened yesterday. Big Brother 27 live feeds. It was day 77 in the house, and we had an eviction. We have a new Final Four HOH winner to talk about. So, with me to talk about it, it's QT. How you doing, QT?
I'm doing amazing. I think this is bound to be the shortest update of the season. I know yesterday's was pretty short, but I feel like we can top it this today.
We might, who knows? So as you know, of course, Vince was the final five HOH. He had Keanu and Ava on the block. Morgan had won the veto, and we were all just waiting for the eviction, which did happen yesterday. The feeds went down, they came back up, and Keanu was gone, having been evicted in fifth place in the sort of Austin shoeless style. I assume he had shoes, but it would have been funny if he didn't. And so when the feeds came back, we also discovered that there was a new HOH at the Final Four as well. And that HOH is Morgan. Morgan, the HOH. She has won the Final Four HOH, which means she is guaranteed Final Three, which means she is one competition away from winning the entire season. I tweeted that out, and some people replied being like, no, it's two competitions. Or, no, it's three competitions. Or some of them said, Morgan can't compete in the final HOH, dummy. But no, we generally count the final HOH as one competition, even though it's in three parts. And the jury vote doesn't generally count as a competition. So, in my opinion, one competition away from winning the entire season.
No, I think what you said is absolutely perfect. And also, regardless, it's like she's in such a good position where she really is one comp away, even if it is one part of the HOH comp, because depending on who she's in the final three with, which if it's like an Ashley and Vince, has a good chance of possibly either winning or Vince winning. And as long as she's
Yes.
in those final two chairs, she probably is winning the game.
I think we can fairly safely assume that. You can never know for sure with a jury, but it feels pretty likely.
Yeah. Especially though, because we haven't even gotten any real jury segments. I mean, we got the one little Will and Rachel thing, but I want to see like what they're thinking as everyone's coming in and showing the footage of what happened during the week, especially when Lauren gets there and tells them about Vinny putting her up. Like all of that stuff I think is going to matter a lot. So I'm curious.
Yeah, it's really the one jury segment we got sort of speaks against the idea that Morgan would win, but it's so out of date that we're assuming it's just going to be overridden by what we've seen in the house itself, where they're all talking about how Morgan for sure wins. And so I do think that's a safe assumption. We're getting more jury talk and jury vote talk in the house this season than we do on most, in part because it's just been Morgan Vince, Morgan Vince, Morgan Vince, HOHs basically. And the people in the house are just kind of like, well, who are we voting for?
Yeah, there's been a lot of reminiscing over the past few days of the whole season and kind of everyone starting to expose the moves they've made. And I think it's kind of interesting because it's almost like having a jury, but like within the house. So Morgan's able to kind of say different things that she's different things that she's done. And then even Ava revealing that she was in a final two with Rachel, like little things like that, that if any of those people are in the final two, everyone else that heard it might be thinking about that as they vote. So interesting.
So as you can see on the graphic, if you're watching along, Ashley and Ava were in fact nominated. I did not hide it from you ahead of time because I think you can all assume what the nominations would have been. And and they don't really matter anyway. The only thing that matters is who wins the veto. And
Sorry, do not know what happened. My internet just completely cut off for a second.
no worries. And so all that matters is who wins the veto, and that's what's kind of interesting about this result today, is that with Morgan being the HOH, she is immune at the final four. And we learned that the HOH was, I believe, like the dice rolling kind of thing. It was a fairly physical competition. And it exhausted Morgan. She said it was a lot of upper body strength. And Ava said, frankly, I can't even feel bad about it because I never had a shot. And so, with that in mind, there's usually, I mean, it used to be totally, it used to be at Final Four, it was before and after was the HOH competition. And then the Final Four veto was primarily quiz with maybe a tiny bit of like place a thing here, place a thing here. Nowadays, it's been Final Four, HOH is maybe something like a what the bleep, maybe something still a bit quizzy. But then the Final Four veto is like run a massive hamster wheel to answer questions. And so we've been expecting that Morgan would have a huge advantage in the Final Four veto. That may not be the case, given that the Final Four HOH was so physical, or it could just mean that they're going even further in the direction of physical comps at Final Four. But the point being that the veto is more important, of course, again, than the HOH. And if the veto is something that is more equitable toward Ashley or Ava, this could be a real fight between the two sides, Ashley and Ava versus Morgan and Vince. If Ashley and Ava win, they seemingly plan to evict Vince now instead of Morgan because she's immune. And Morgan and Vince seemingly plan to evict Ava. And so what this veto competition is could change the entire trajectory of this season.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, I mean, out of the four left, I feel like Morgan definitely has played a very well-rounded game, maybe one of the best, debatable. But like where we are in Big Brother now is that it's so competition heavy that Morgan is the best like modern Big Brother player because she's good at comps and she still has the social and strategic, and maybe she's made some mistakes before and is not flawless, but because she also has the competition aspect, which means so much in a Big Brother game these days. I feel like she's gotten herself in this position to be in the best position to win because of those comp wins. And yeah, the HOH being so physical was so crazy after the last HOH being a lot of upper body strength. And so Ava and Ashley, even if they wouldn't have won regardless, I mean, they were at a disadvantage from holding that thing up before and already being sore from that HOH. And they didn't even get a full week in between HOH competitions. So a lot against them.
So they may be doing the veto competition today. I believe they're already waking them up. So there's definitely a good chance of that happening. And we will be able to see what happens there. If Morgan or Vince win, it's just same as usual. If Ashley or Ava somehow manage to pull out a win, things get a little interesting. So stay tuned for that. Now, once Morgan won this HOH, Ava immediately started campaigning to him, basically pitching that, hey, frankly, this is my opinion, but I think that Morgan is going to take Ashley to the final two instead of you, Vince. And of course, Vince was like, oh, I know that. Yeah, I know she's definitely going to do that. You know, she says all the time that she's worried about me in the final two. So I know she's going to take Ashley, and I know that I need to keep you in the game if I want any chance of winning. You know, just doing his Vince thing of promising the person that he's talking to. Ava does tell him, like, and I haven't fully made up my mind about my vote if I win the veto. But of course, when she's talking to Ashley, she says, "Oh, we're taking out Vinny."
Yeah. Also, I think it was in that conversation with Ava that Vince was like, I've basically lied to everyone in the jury and I'm going to have to own it, which I do appreciate that at least he's saying that he has to own it. So if he does get to the end, he doesn't just be like, no, I wanted to stay true to all of you. Like Morgan made me do blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. So at least he's aware that he's lied to them and needs to own it in the end instead of the reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Vince, of course, is not very outwardly happy about Morgan winning. I mean, he's talking to her about being happy that she won, but when he's alone, he seems pretty down. And this is due to the fact that, as he says to the cameras, he's very concerned for his own safety now. That basically, again, because Morgan won the HOH, he is now vulnerable if Ashley or Ava were to win the veto. And he keeps telling her, like, hey, don't let up, don't let up just because you're safe. Like, you got to clock in for me here. And he's studying as much as he can, and just very concerned that this might be the end of his game. He really wants to make it to the final two with Morgan, he says to her, and so he is very worried.
Yeah. Sorry, my email keeps coming up and I was trying to close it out so that it doesn't make that noise anymore. My question is this any different than, like, he wasn't able to win HOH? Is it any different than if Ashley or Ava would have won HOH with the veto being the main thing?
Yeah, and so the difference is that if Morgan had not won this HOH, Vinny would have been lock safe, because Ashley and Ava would have evicted Morgan over him every time.
Oh, I wasn't thinking that. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I was like, it would be the same thing. Like if she wins the veto, she's not going to use it. So you're going to be the sole vote to evict. But I see. Even if he was on the block with Morgan, they would have evicted her. Yeah, that makes sense.
So Ava does, of course, as I mentioned, tell Ashley that she's with her. She'll be voting Vinny out if she wins. And if she makes it to the end, she'll be rooting for her in the jury. They even, Ashley and Ava, discuss, like, that it's too late for Vince. Even if he were to cut Morgan at the final three, neither of them would vote for him. Granted, one of them would be sitting in the final two, because he just loses either way now. Like, there's no winning for Vinny at this point. Even cutting Morgan at the end would not redeem his game, they say.
Yeah, that's so crazy and sucks. But I mean, there's been so many things he's done wrong every single time that he's won a competition. So it's hard to feel bad by this point.
And this could just be them promising each other their jury vote, essentially, but worth pointing out at this point. So Ashley, for her part, celebrates with Morgan and Vince. Judges, we're so close to making the final three together. Ashley, of course, is continuing to play up the idea that she would not evict Vince. He's concerned that she will, but Morgan is telling Vince she won't, which, of course, is very wrong. But Ashley is playing it up. There is a gross moment downstairs where Ashley is opening Ava's water bottle, and it's like, the lid's a little stuck. She opens it and then it spills on her. Oh no, water got spilled on her. Except it wasn't just water, it was also mold, because I guess there was a lemon in the water bottle that had been in there for as long as it takes for mold to grow on a lemon in water in a water bottle. And so she got moldy water on her sweatshirt. And she was like, Ava!
No, this is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And they don't even have the backyard, so they can't even wash it right away. It's like, just throw it all out.
Good. So that happened. Of course, upstairs, it's now Morgan's HOH, and she did invite Vince to come and sleep up with her,
Different
facing the same direction as well this time. No more flip-flopping. And he says to her, he says, I literally love you so much, and I don't think you'll ever understand what it means to me to have you in this game. And I hope I have you outside of this game because you're the type of person I want in my life. I think you deserve to win this game. You've played better than me. You've played better socially. You've won competitions when you needed to. You're more honest than me. And in general, I think you're just a better human being than me. You really deserve to win. You're just the best, and I want the best for you. And I really genuinely root for your success.
I can't do it anymore. I'm going to be so glad when this is all over. I'm happy for Morgan winning the HOH, but the thing that I was most annoyed about was having to get another few days of them in the bed together at night talking, because it's too far gone at this point. I can't. I mean, the fact that they're laying the same direction now, like what happened to all this stuff about like when we're in the bed we're not even close to each other and we lay in different directions, like it's all just going out the window, and it's so awkward to watch, just knowing everything that's happening outside with Vince's girlfriend and stuff. So I hate it.
Yes. Well, again, essentially professing his love, telling her he will be taking her to the final two. His talks to the camera are a little more vague generally. Again, he hasn't like fully said it's what he plans to do. He had that vague talk the other day where he said he needs to win the final HOH so that he can choose the path that guarantees himself the win. I did think about this though, that like, of course, because I was thinking like, why wouldn't he just say to the cameras like what he plans to do? Like, why he talks to the cameras? Why wouldn't he just tell us what he plans to do at the final three? And I thought, oh, well, maybe it's because he doesn't know for sure yet. But then I thought, wait, this is Vince we're talking about. Vince lies all the time. Vince lies to us all the time. Why would Vince tell us he plans to cut Morgan? He wouldn't. He would lie to us and say he plans to take her because there's a chance he might not even be in that position. This is the Vince MO all season long. If he doesn't even win the final three HOH, there's no shot in hell he wants a clip of himself on the live feeds that Morgan can watch saying he would have cut her.
That's true.
There's no way he would ever say that. So I don't know. I'm just saying. You can't trust this man.
I don't know. I don't want to get
it's 100%.
I don't want to get my hopes up for that. I just feel like they're so connected on a human level now that I just can't imagine him cutting her because of how much he seems to want.
It's almost like they've been in a relationship for like 7 years at this point.
That's true, right? I mean, he's not as loyal as maybe we think, but I don't know what means more to him, his relationship with Morgan outside or winning the game. Maybe winning the game does, because like he says, he's been wanting to play this game for 10 years and he needs the money, et cetera, but we'll see. That would be the most fun outcome to see if he actually does it, him winning final three HOH with Morgan and like an Ashley or Ava there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, again, I think about the BB comics where he very clearly is lying in the DR about throwing that. And I have to imagine that perhaps even that was a similar thing, like trying to get ahead of like, hey, I didn't throw it. Yeah. And even in the house to Lauren, he said, I didn't throw it. So, and that's like the going back on the zip line instead of waiting there like Lauren did. So like all calculated to try to pretend like he wasn't throwing it, even though it was very obvious anyway.
Yeah, you don't go on a joyride if you're trying to win a competition like that where you don't know where the other people's times. Like you clearly threw it.
Mm-hmm. So that's all I'm going to say. I do still think he takes her. I think that I think he is likely too fearful that he loses to Ava or Ashley. But just never. Again, don't fall for Vince. You've seen him all season long. Don't think that anything is a given with this man. Now there is another thing I was thinking about too, which was like, like Ashley's position here, because when she was upstairs celebrating the judges' final three, and knowing that she's actually secretly really wanting to cut Morgan, and actually a lot more strategic than either Vinny or Morgan suspect, it reminded me of something. And people are going to be always so mad if I ever deign to mention Dr. Will's name in relation to any player ever. But it reminded me of the Dr. Will position. This Final Four actually reminds me of the Big Brother 2 Final Four, which consisted of Hardy, Nicole, Will, and Monica, and how sort of similar it is positionally, at the very least, where you have Hardy and Nicole, Vince and Morgan, the couple that has dominated the HOHs all season long, basically, and then Ashley, the person who has essentially tricked them into thinking she's loyal and that has made a deal with them, but would absolutely cut them at any given moment. And then Ashley, Ava, the third party, who actually has a pretty decent chance of winning a jury vote if she gets there, despite what some of the audience might think. And really, the only difference is that Will was super lucky that he was able to throw the Final Four HOH to Monica, and couldn't happen here. Will would be in big trouble in a season like this, is what I'm saying. But of course, in this spot, Morgan would be the Hardy, and Vince would be the Nicole. Which, I'm sorry, Nicole, that's not really fair to you, but. But I just thought it was very interesting. And of course, this is the spot where instead of Ashley being able to betray, although maybe if she wins this veto, she still could, and it could still be similar. But instead of Ashley being able to betray in the way that she was, that Will did in the Final Four, competitions just didn't play out that way. And now she's just stuck. And that's really the difference, because if Ava, let's say Morgan didn't win this, and even like if Ava did, and then Ashley gets to the end with Vince, Ashley is remembered as like, wow, she really did that. But instead, Morgan wins this HOH. She's unable to do anything, and she'll probably just be remembered as like, she did well that season. It's just so funny to me, the differences here. But I really think that this positionally is kind of similar to that season.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's just like you said, kind of sad that it's not playing out that way, and Ashley really just doesn't have as much of a chance with her not winning competitions. And she's played such a great game, and I just feel like, especially because of how they're editing her and not even really showing what she's doing strategically behind the scenes. Like you said, I don't know that she'll be remembered by like the casual fans really, as much as she probably should be, and kind of sucks. But I do feel like she's aware of what her game is, and she would communicate that well in a final two. But again, like this season, or these past few seasons, competitions mean so much that, again, I'm wondering like what the jury is feeling, but I feel like they'll want someone who has more of a combination of comp wins and that strategic capabilities, and not just someone who has done a lot like socially. So I don't know, but she's really, really an amazing player, I think, and deserves more credit later on.
Yeah. Well, anything else you wanted to bring up from yesterday, QT?
I don't think so. I mean, not too much happens. Feeds were down for so long. I'm really more interested today to see who's going to win the veto. I'm praying it's Ashley so she can finally have something. But who knows? We'll see.
Yes, we will.
Sorry, I was just going to say I'm excited for this season to be over and for us to finally see who wins the game. It's been a long season, but a pretty fun one, I think, overall. Like, I was listening to you guys yesterday on the roundtable, and I have similar thoughts of like, it wasn't the worst season, but it also wasn't the best. And I don't want a season like this every single year, but for what it was, I'm happy that we had it, and I've been entertained mostly the whole time. So yeah, I think it's it's going to be interesting to see who wins and represents this season as a whole.
Yeah. All right. Well, of course, tune in tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern. I will update you on everything that happens today on the Big Brother 27 live feeds, including, I think, perhaps the veto competition, the all-important veto competition. We're expecting Morgan or Vince to win it, but if they don't, things get a little tricky. So stay tuned for that. Of course, tomorrow night, a late episode, Survivor premiere into Big Brother episode. I will be streaming through all of it on Twitch, YouTube, and Patreon. If you want to come and join me for that, there'll be a podcast afterward, and then the live Final Four eviction on Thursday. So stay tuned for that. Then recap of the recap on Friday, and the finale of Big Brother 27 on Sunday coming up soon. So make sure you check out the aforementioned Patreon. Make sure you check out my book, Behind the Mirror. You can pre-order the audio version or a physical copy still now. And I believe that's it. QT, what do you got going on?
Nothing much. I'm just everywhere on social media at Corey Tyler, doing all the things, reading lots of books. Can't wait to read Taran's books and talking about it on social media. So if you like books, then follow me literally anywhere. Also at Books with QT on Instagram for like more book specific things. So yeah, very fun. Also, just want to say Taran's Patreon is very worth it. My mom is on your Patreon and she loves watching the episodes with you. So I definitely would say to check it out.
Look at that. Endorsed by QT's mom. Thank you so much. And that is what we have for you today. Thank you all so much for joining us. And I will see all of you next time.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.